What is holding you back? One, you don't know what to post. Two, you have a lot of content and information and you easily get overwhelmed. Three, imposter syndrome is holding you back. Which one of those things is holding you back from creating and posting content consistently, right? Number one, you don't know what to post. Number two, you have a lot of content and information and you easily get overwhelmed. Number three, imposter syndrome is holding you back. What is holding you back from creating, okay, and posting content? So far, Val says number two. She says she has a lot of content and information and she gets overwhelmed. Thank you. Harley says number one, you don't know what to post. Awesome, awesome. Number two, Candy, you have a lot of content. It's overwhelming. Not sure what to post. Not sure what to post. Andrea C, mostly number two. Michelle, I know you have a lot of content. Michelle's amazing, you guys. Make sure to follow her. Courtney, number two. Naomi, I love it. Number two leads to three. Thank you, Naomi. And I'm sure that's the same for a lot of people. Okay, two. So a lot of what I'm seeing is number two. You have a lot of content and information and you easily get overwhelmed by it, right? And here's the thing, why we need to assess that and why we need to have that conversation and really think about that question is because it's what's preventing you from creating a content creation process. Courtney, I've been there. She's like, sometimes I can't make up my mind on what I want to post. I understand that. I totally understand that. See, so this is really important. We have to understand our process. But if these other things where it's you don't know what to post or you're overwhelmed by all the content that you have or even imposter syndrome, what happens is it stifles you or it stops you in your tracks from posting at all. You see that? So then you can't even like have a content process. You guys, in my notes section on my phone, this is no joke. My friend Tamara Brown could verify this. I have a note section that just says Facebook Live topics. Hundreds of topics. Hundreds of topics. A lot, right? So I'm never short of that because it's a part of my process. Carter's Eat says, my make up and hair needs to be right, and then kids keep me from being ready. But I stay organized. I may upload one of my thoughts every day. Okay, so Carter's Eats, if I can share this with you because I'm a mom of a 13, 11-year-old, and 3-year-old. Yeah, you know that last one was a surprise. Anyway, and when it comes to makeup and hair needs to be right, I just want to look at some of your verbiage for a second. When we talk about makeup and hair needs to be right, what does that mean? Because I think a lot of times we put a lot of undue pressure on ourselves that your audience is not looking for, right? Now, when I come here, I want to look presentable because that's a part of my brand. But when it comes to my kids keep me from being ready, I've had a conversation with my kids. I've been live streaming for 6 or 7 years. So my son was about 3 or 4, very active boy. And I remember having a conversation with him and bringing them in on the process. So it's on my family calendar. Everybody knows that 11 a.m. is when mommy goes live. So I make the kids a part of the process because it's a family business. So I let the kids know. So in those early years, I would tell my son, if you let me go live, I can take you to Chuck E. Cheese. I have no problems with bribery. Parenting blogs and parenting experts don't come from me. This is what works for me. Anyway, back to Carter's Eats. I sat here and I said, okay, listen, this is what's happening. And if you honor me, I can honor you. And so I remember there was one day I didn't go live this particular day. And my son says, Carter's Eats, and everybody's listening to this, says, are you going to do your live video today? And I said, I don't know. Why? Oh, because I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. I giggled so much. And so now it's become, yeah, bribery can be bad, Michelle. So it's become such a thing now. And so it's we have to understand that process. I hope that supported you. Janny says, I have a note section too. However, that's where I get overwhelmed because I have so much. So I organize my note section and we're going to get a little into that a little bit later. Danielle says, I used to feel that my makeup had to be right. I still prefer it, but sometimes your audience wants to see you, the real you. That's it. That's it. I love that. Um, Michelle's agreeing with Danielle. Um, uh, I'm even more consistent. Okay. And you got to know what works for you, Carter Zeets. I love that. Okay. So let's get into this. Let's get into this. So let's talk about this process. Remember, I said everything that you do has a process. Okay. A process, right? Process for your visibility. Your visibility needs a plan and it shouldn't be haphazard. Your visibility shouldn't be haphazard, and there's a plan for your visibility. Your visibility shouldn't be haphazard, and there should be a plan for your visibility. And that means that your content, if it's helping you become more visible, guess what? It needs a process, it needs a plan. So let's look at the three things that are involved in this, okay? Three things that are involved in this. All right, number one, planning. Nobody wants to plan. Oh, I know it. You don't want to plan, but it's so necessary and it's so important to plan. And what does this planning look like? This looks like um, research, right? Researching on topics, suggestions. This looks like ideation, looking at what ideas that you can put together. This looks like understanding your audience. What's the thing that my people want to hear anyway? Like, what is the thing that they desire to know? That's what this planning phase looks like. So this is literally you sitting down as Val grabs her pen and paper, and you grab your pen and paper and you sit down, right? Come on, proper preparation prevents poor performance. I love that, Stacy. Organizers and notes. I need it all. Right. So we have to understand that there's a planning process for your content. Anybody I know who's creating content that is getting them more visibility, more opportunities to be seen, heard, and paid, they are planning that. No one is doing anything haphazard. I'm just telling you, real people who are out here doing the things and building organic communities and using organic growth and making true impact, influence, and income, they are planning their content. They're planning their content. You have to have a plan. And that plan has to include research, ideation, and understanding your audience. Because I can come on here and talk about stuff that I like, but what is that? How does that benefit you? Because I just made it about me and not about you. Right? So that means I have to understand what it is that you need in order to grow your visibility. And what I know that you need is to understand how to create content. That's why I'm really excited. Hopefully, this week we'll be able to release. We're doing our Visibility is Power virtual experience. We're doing a 1-day Visibility is Power event this year. And guess what it's centered on? All about content. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's all about creating content. It's about SEO. How can you be found? And it's also how you can use your content to get paid. I'm very excited. So stay tuned. More details to come about that. So your content process has to involve planning. You have to sit down, ladies and gentlemen, and decide, what does this look like? And if you're overwhelmed by that planning process, I'm really excited because when we have this virtual experience, this content, this 1-day content elevation summit virtually, we're going to talk about what that process should look like. I'm going to share with you my process on making content planning super duper easy. Folks, I do not get overwhelmed by the content I have in my phone. I do not get overwhelmed by all of the ideas that I have. I don't, because what I've also learned for you guys who are big creatives, I've also learned that a lot of the ideas that you have really aren't for you. Sip tea again. You do realize as a creative, you have ideas galore. But you do realize that all those ideas aren't for you. Those ideas are for you to share with other clients or other people. You do realize that, right? Yeah, it's not for you. It's for you to share with others. It's almost like the story of David, right? So if you're new to the broadcast, I'm a Jesus girl. I'm also known as the first lady of visibility, but I'm also a first lady in real life. So I am a pastor's wife. And I like to use scripture a lot because seriously, the Bible is a walking business guide, totally walking business guide. And so I was doing this study on David and Solomon. David was the one who fought the wars. Solomon was the one that built the temple, right? His son. David wanted to build the temple because he loved God. But God told him, no, you're going to be the one to go out and fight the wars and take the money from the spoils and go give that to your son so he can build the temple. Here's what I'm saying to back what I just said to you. There are going to be times that God's going to give you ideas, right? For you, then, you ready for this? To either give to other clients, to either sell to companies or corporations, or for you to give to your business bestie. It's not always for you to do. Your wisdom is to then to seek God and ask, Janie, we're going to be great friends because David's my dude. Like we have a standing brunch date when I get to heaven. He's paying, of course. But you have to understand your wisdom is then to ask God, okay, is this for me to do? Or you just want me to put this in my notes section for somebody else? Hello. See, y'all overwhelmed by all this stuff, and it's like it ain't even for you to have. I said ain't. It ain't even for you to have. It's for you to steward and hold it till God releases you to release it to the person who's supposed to do it. I'm just saying that, my friends, would eliminate a lot of the overwhelm when you understand that. That was free. I just had to drop that mic drop right there. I believe that supported you. All right. So planning. Planning is very key. Okay. Planning is very key. Research, ideation, understanding your audience. All of those things are very key. Number two, implementation. So again, you have all of these ideas in your notes on your phone, and then you don't ever implement it. How many of you have Facebook Live ideas, IGTV Live ideas, YouTube channel ideas, and you've never launched any of those things? How many times? I love that Andrea C says, I often give away content ideas to others. You sure do, because Andrea C is a part of our paid video community, and she's always sharing gems to people in there. I love it. But how many times have you put ideas and things that you want to do, and then all of a sudden you never implement it? Because you don't understand a part of the content creation process is you got to take action. Now that I've done the research, now that I've planned, now that I've understood my audience, then I have to move into implementation. I have to move into action. Action cures all. I have to take action, Jackson. You got to take action. So, what's preventing you from taking action? For some of you, it's I want to do video, but I'm scared in how I look on camera. Well, then you need to go to the bio, the description of this video, and check out our Camera Confident CEO course. Because why sit here and have all of these ideas in your phone, all of these ideas that God's given you, and it just stays in your phone? What's the point of it? So it's time to move into action, implementation phase. All right. And so last thing before we close today, maintaining. So now that you post the content, you've done the planning, you've taken action, now it's maintaining, okay? Maintaining. What does that look like? Engagement with your audience. Some of you have done the research, you took action, and then you forgot to maintain, which means engaging with your audience, who's engaging with the content. That's so key and that's so necessary because they're just like, okay, you posted this great content and then you're ghost because you just like, it's like a spitball. You just want it to stick, but you don't go through, you don't take it to the next level. So we have to understand how to engage with the content now that we have posted it. So when we're talking about this content creation process, it involves planning, implementation, and maintaining. So one of the things that we always ask here on Master Your Monday, we always ask, what is it that you're going to master today? What is it that you're going to master today? And is it, I need to plan better. or I really need to implement. I haven't really taken action on any of the things that's in my notes section, in my Google Drive, the thing I told my business bestie I was going to do? Or is it I need to engage more? I need to love all my people more and not just post and ghost. Oh my gosh. Y'all, that just blessed me. Stand by. I'm taking notes doing my own live. Can I do that? Because that just blessed me. And I'm going to make that a teachable moment. Post and ghost. Yeah, post and ghost. So are you just posting and ghosting people? Meaning I posted it, okay, now it's gonna go out there and all these people are gonna respond. No, 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 no. How are you responding with the one person who engaged with that post? Or how are you looking at that post and reviewing it and seeing how it's helping to anchor your visibility? How is it helping to anchor your visibility? What are you gonna master today? I'd love for you to share your biggest aha moment with us. Make sure to use the hashtag MYM for Master Your Monday. Yeah, post and ghost. We can't do that, Val. Can't do that.